career cheat code number 1, assign yourself deadlines publicly and then consistently meet them. Assign yourself deadlines in a public setting, in a meeting where there's cross-functional people, especially if there's people that don't know you or are new to working with you. And in the follow-up email that you send with deadlines, write in your promises and the dates that you said you were going to do something, and then do them. That's it. It is one of the fastest ways to build trust and showcase your follow-through. Welcome back, dear human being. I'm so glad that you're here. And of all the places in the world, all the places online, you chose to spend some time here. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about cheat codes for career success. Cheat codes that can launch your career, make you grow faster, help you be a better, more effective employee, come across as more polished and clear and crisp, and now's the time to do it. Now is the time to build your career and really go for it, because why not? What are you waiting for? I wanted to briefly just showcase, I'm an author, right? I'm an author. If you're not seeing the video version of this on YouTube, I'm showing my 2 books, Your 20s, which is 8 years old, and Thank You for Dumping Me, which is, a year and some change old. And I just want to share some gratitude, because these books, they sell copies all over the world every single day. And I get a check from Amazon at the end of each month that I'm just truly overwhelmed and grateful for. So not only do I love doing this podcast, I love writing and I love working at my day job. And so if you're a multifaceted person, you can grow your career at a day job and fund your side passions like writing or anything creativity wise, or if you're looking to build a side business or some kind of passion project that doesn't even earn you money. I think that's something I'm pondering a lot right now, in that, our day gig can be something that we are good at and we're paid well, but it doesn't have to be the end all be all of all of our hopes and dreams. We can have both. We can have passion projects that fulfill our soul and fulfill dreams or just interests that we have. We don't have to obsess over making those dreams become what we're paid for. So I just wanted to acknowledge that and throw that out there for anyone. If that resonates, fantastic. So let's get into the 10 career cheat codes to launch your success. All right, this first one here is one of my favorite ones. I do it all the time, especially on cross-functional projects, and it works. It works. So career cheat code number 1, assign yourself deadlines publicly and then consistently meet them. Assign yourself deadlines in a public setting, in a meeting where there's cross-functional people, especially if there's people that don't know you or are new to working with you. And in the follow-up email that you send with deadlines, write in your promises and the dates that you said you were going to do something, and then do them. That's it. It is one of the fastest ways to build trust and showcase your follow-through. I'm telling you, it works really, really well. And people are going to start to identify and associate you with someone that is reliable, dependable, and follows through. Because you are that person. But you can get to that part of your personal brand and showcasing that piece of yourself faster if you assign yourself deadlines publicly and then meet them. Easy as that. Number 2, be the person who leads the meeting. I love being the person who leads the meeting. Why? Because I'm a control freak. No, I am. I am a control freak. But it also helps I get to lead and steer the directive of the meeting. I get to influence the narrative of what we're talking about. I get to decide what we're focused on, and that has great influence, and there's great power in that. And it takes thoughtfulness and approach and a certain level of preparedness and all of that, but that's good. At least I get to decide what we go over, and then in that I'm getting a lot out of it. And I have have I done a meeting I don't think I've done a meeting management course or a course, an episode. Although these are mini courses, aren't they? There's so much value. But there's beauty to being able to lead that meeting. And there's ways to do it and prep and approach it so that it makes it useful for everyone's time and a valuable part of people's day, because no one wants to be in a meeting that feels irrelevant, or like they get into the meeting and they're like, why am I here? What am I contributing here? And so everyone complains about meetings. We know everyone's in too many meetings and yada yada. It's not sexy or cool to be in a million meetings a day. That does not impress me. If you tell me I've got 10 meetings today, I'm going to think you don't manage your time well. You don't know how to say no. There's no way that you're in 10 meetings a day that you're able to provide value and feedback and expertise, because when are you realistically doing the rest of your work? So there's an imbalance there. I don't think it's a good look to brag about how many meetings you're in. I just don't. I think it makes you look disorganized and you have no priorities, because if you're in everything, how are you focused on the vital few? So anyway, I could talk about meetings all day, but be the person who leads the meetings. Set an agenda, come prepared, and then bonus, send a recap. Because if you send a recap and you do the assignments of here's what everyone needs to do, here are the next steps, you're in control of shaping that narrative, shaping that strategy and approach. And then you can also showcase follow through by the things that you've assigned yourself. You follow through and do them, right? So it's a win-win. Number 3, reply faster than everyone. So there's a level of urgency that is the sweet spot. And it's not obsessing over your email and being glued to your email and responding in a way that's just when you don't have anything valuable to say. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying respond all to everything all the time, because that's not going to be the best use of your time. You want to be of value and relevant, but you want to have some kind of SLA for yourself. Service level agreement to yourself. All right. If someone comes to me and asks me a question, I'm going to get back to them within an hour and a half or an hour or whatever. I don't know what comes across your desk or what your workload looks like, but give yourself a specific set of time to get back to people and do it. And then it will start to become a habit and start to become part of your day. I was talking with some friends at work the other day, and one guy was like, I have to clear my inbox immediately. And I'm like, totally get that. Love that. So he's got a built-in anxiety around it, which probably makes him respond faster than everybody else. So you want to be a little bit strategic with this and make sure that you are responding with value, but especially keep in mind responding in a certain amount of time to execs, people that are higher up than you, cross-functional partners. It'll help you look like you're on it. And it'll help you feel and look dependable. And from that, the more dependable and reliable you come across and are, right? You're going to get pulled into bigger opportunities. People are going to want to work with you. I don't want to work with someone where I email them and the email feels like it goes into a black hole and so much time has passed that I forget that I've even emailed them about something. No one wants to work with that person. So showcase that you're there and you're present, because oftentimes now we're all virtual. This episode is brought to you by my Brain Dates, one-on-one conversations where we figure out your next move together on a variety of topics. You can learn more on my website, jessnessrequired.com, under the Work With Me tab. Everyone works virtually, so it's really hard to understand if people are at their desk or we're in different time zones. Maybe they're not at their desk because it's literally dinner time, but it's 3 p.m. my time. So there's a million things going on. And one of the ways that you can showcase that you're present and available is responding faster than everyone else, or giving yourself an SLA where you can respond in a certain amount of time and start to build that dependability into your brand. All right, number 4, ask for clarity Every time your leader, your manager gives you direction, I know that your manager is giving you vague advice or direction or a vague goal. That's not because they hate you. It's because humans sometimes are just more vague. Who is that on to clarify that? Is that on your manager or is that on you? That's on you. If your manager is giving you vague direction, rather than nodding and scrambling off and then going, what the heck did he say? What did she say? What they mean by that? I have no idea. Oh well, I guess we'll just shoot in the dark and hope for the best. Not great. Doesn't feel good either. You're left at this crossroads of like, ugh, like I go this way or this way, and I hope. You don't want to be in a situation of I hope I get this right. Ask, hey, what does success look like here? It makes you look confident, it makes you proactive, and it makes you smart because guess what? You are. So ask the question and clarify what your leader is directing you to do, and then guess what? You save yourself time. You don't have to do any rework later because you already have the clear north star of where you're going. You're not going to have to circle back with your manager and later on like scurry back and go, "What'd you mean by this?" Just ask it in the moment and just say, "Hey, what does success look like here? What I'm hearing you say is you'd like me to do XYZ, whatever." Clarify it. That's on you if you don't clarify the vague direction. Because it's going to happen. And I'm sure you have a vague directive on your to do list right now. All right, number 5, build a relationship with IT and operations. I can't tell you how many times my buddies in IT have saved me. There was one time when I was commuting from Pleasanton, California to the Silicon Valley, and I left my laptop at home. I was in a fit. I was like, how did I leave my freaking laptop at home? I thankfully had buddies in IT. I ran over to them before this big meeting I had in HR. Of course, it happens on a day that I had a big meeting. And I was like, you guys, I left my laptop at home. They lent me a loaner computer, prioritized me above all the other tickets, and just, they're like, oh, Jess, like, you're such a dork. Like, here you go. And because we had that relationship, it became smooth. It was a smooth process. I got what I needed. I was like, fist bump, thanks, man. And off I went. So it can help. It can help. My current IT partner, there's a few of them. Love these guys. Ironically, they're all dudes, but I've gotten to know them. We're friends. They have my back. We put on a ton of in-person trainings where there's execs coming to speak. We have VPs in the room. We have a cross-functional team of bunch of managers meeting us for the first time, experiencing our content for the first time. All of this first time, first impression kind of opportunities. And if I need something, they're there. I know they've got my back and I've got theirs. So building that relationship with IT is huge because you just never know. Like technology wants to stab us in the back, here and there, not the IT people, but technology in general, right? You'll wake up and then like your Zoom's not working. Why? I don't know. It's in the cosmos. Mercury's in retrograde. I don't know, but something's not working. And if you've got some buds in that department, great. Why does ops work? I've got some friends in operations and specifically people operations, and I'm preparing to go out on maternity leave. I had like 1,000,001 questions on different things. Like, where do I go for this? What do I do for that? Got on the phone with my buddy Sarah and she walked me through it. Thank God. Got on the phone with my other friend and she said, here's this 10-page packet. Let me just distill down for you what's important. Oh my gosh. Hallelujah. Great. So, people overlook some of those relationships and only reach out when they need something. No. Make the relationship, get to know them, and then you create a partnership, right? You've got their back, they've got yours, and if they like you, it can really help when you're in a need. People want to work with people that they like and that are friendly and kind. So, if that, I do that. If someone comes to me and is like, I need to start a feedback 360 today, and they're a total, I'm like, okay, like, I'll get to it. Like, I can get to that like in the next couple days. Thank you for your patience. If there's somebody that's kind, that's reached out and has built a relationship with me, or I know them, like, we want to help our friends out. That's just human behavior. So I'm gonna say, yeah, you betcha. Let me get to that in the next couple hours. So it pays. It pays off. And it can help your road become shockingly smooth if you let it. All right, number 6, give your boss 3 options, not one problem. No one wants someone to come to them with a problem, period. But especially your boss. So if something's coming up, and you've got to get your boss's feedback, and I'm not saying don't ever bring up problems, because part of your leader, your manager's job is to remove roadblocks. Roadblocks are issues and problems. So you've got to bring to them problems that are coming up. But don't just stop there. Don't just come with the problem and then complain and go on and on. If you're going to share some context to the problem, keep it 3 sentences if you can. Hit the highlights, dude. Don't go into all of the ins and outs and this and that. You're going to lose them, and they're going to start thinking, oh God, she's never going to stop talking. So bring them some context, keep it succinct, keep it elevator style, right? Just nice and short, 30 seconds to a minute, and then deliver them with 3 options. Hey, Mr. Manager, Mrs. Manager, let's call him Tony. Hey, Tony, I've got a problem. There's an issue. I'm making this up. There's an issue with the processing software, and because of that, we're not able to pull reports. And Jack, the VP, he has asked for a report come Friday. Okay, cool. Elevator pitch problem done. Hey, Tony, I've also thought about, here's how I'm thinking about approaching it. I can either do this, this, or this. Even if they're completely wrong or not great solutions or options, who cares? You still brought your manager the solutions, and that's going to skyrocket your career, because this person is someone that can deliver on solutions. They give me a menu, some options to choose from. Everyone likes a menu that they can customize and pick from, because guess what? Your manager is either going to say, let's go with option 2. Great. Go for it. What do you need from me? And then you ask for it. Or the manager is going to say, okay, thanks for bringing this to me. You're going to spark ideas in their head about what they can then suggest, because you came with some options. And then from there, they're going to be able to give you the next steps. It's a win-win. You co-create together. Voila. The manager's not just met with like this long novel story of all of these issues happening, and then at the end of it is completely exhausted listening to you, and then is like, oh my God, I have to solve this person's problem. Like, no, thank you. It's like, cool. Here's the issue. Here's a couple options. All right, Jess, let's go with option 2. And what I can do with that is I can reach out to, what was the VP? Jack. I can reach out to Jack, and I know it wasn't Jack, whatever. I can reach out to Jack and I can send a note, blah, blah, blah. Cool. And then you're merry on your way. Number 7, document everything. Document everything. And I'm not talking about in a shady way. I know that documentation gets a bad rep because HR made it because, when you hear documentation, you think I'm getting fired. But that's not the case. Things are moving fast now in the world. There are competing priorities. There are many meetings. You've got Joe Schmo in 10 meetings a day. Do you think he can remember anything that you're working on? No. You need to document everything. And one, that helps you to refer back to what has been agreed on. Take the guessing out. Make it easier for your brain. Make it easier for you to remember what your to-do list is. I do it all the time. If it's not written down, my brain is going a million miles a minute. I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about my next book. I'm brainstorming ideas for this podcast. I'm thinking about a quote I read earlier. I'm acknowledging, I don't know, whatever. Like, my brain's going a million miles a minute. So I take the load off my brain of having to remember everything, and I have a system for doing that. And part of that is documenting things. So 1, I remember what's coming across my desk. 2, it can help to showcase the work that you're doing. It can be something you refer back to. If you've got one-on-ones coming up, it can be something that you highlight in your one-on-one. Having just a normal approach and a flow to documenting things is going to help protect your sanity and build credibility when you need. All right, number 8. Repeat your big wins in different formats. Most people will share a win once and then just go, yeah, I shared that win, and just hope people remember. They will not remember. You need to share it in multiple ways. You need to share it verbally. You need to share it cross-functionally. You need to share it in a slide format so it's visible. You need to share it in an email recap. You need to share your win as a narrative and telling the story. You need to share it in a KPI or a metric. Share it in a couple different ways. And I think about this as a content creator is I've got this podcast, right? I share this podcast on YouTube and in audio, wherever you listen to podcasts. And then I also will use this one format or this one long form piece of content, and I'll break it up and share it in a reel or a short video on TikTok. I'll share it in a carousel. I'll share it in a story, right? So it's the same approach that I take with sharing my insights on career coaching, self-discovery, self-trust, embracing the unknown, and breakups. So those are the kind of my topics that I gravitate towards most in a variety of ways. Same thing for sharing your wins at work. You're going to want to share in different formats because different formats reach different people, and it's going to take people more than once to hear it in order for them to notice it. One person may hear it more in a story versus an email follow-up. So you want to make sure you catch people with where they're at so that you can be sharing those wins and they can be landing, right? They can be landing. All right, number 9. We've all heard this before, that leadership at the top is lonely. Why? Why is that? Well, that saying comes from the fact that when the higher up you go in leadership, the lonelier it gets because the less peers you have, right? Like me, I've got like 1,000 peers, multiple thousands of peers at my company now. My CEO has 0 peers, technically. I mean, his executive council are technically his peers, but you get what I'm saying, right? Like me being a program manager, there's many of us. There's many peers that I can talk to, I can check in with, they check in with me, we can validate how each other is feeling, we can talk more openly. You know, at the VP level, there's less VPs that can talk and, connect and check in. So the tip here is treat your manager like a human. Check in on them. My manager, I do that time to time, and I did that this week. There's a lot of change happening at our company right now. And so I just said, hey, I know leadership at the top is lonely, and I know that you can't share with me everything, but I just want you to know I've been thinking about you. And if there's anything I can do from my world to help advocate or this or that, you let me know. How are you doing? And he was like, oh, he was, I think, pleasantly surprised. I'm not sure exactly, but I wanted to check in on him personally, right? That's important for building relationship and also getting to know your manager for who they are. And that's going to help you better work with them and for them. All right, number 10. Make friends with someone 2 levels above you. Okay? Most people network sideways. So like I was saying, across the company, there are thousands of people in my similar job level. So I can network all day. And at a company with 19,000 people, you can spend your whole week networking. But you're going to want to make sure that your vertical networking is also supporting, because these people are people that can potentially change the whole speed of your career. They're in meetings that you're not in. They have way more context to what's coming. They know things that you do not know. And so they're in rooms and conversations and situations that you want them to know you. So don't just network sideways, but also vertically with 2 levels above you. All right, and that's it. Which tip resonates with you the most, which one is got you thinking and got you going, I'm going to try that. Let me know on Insta. DM me which of the 10 career cheat codes you like the most, and we'll see you on a future episode.